Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everyone. This is me, Jonathan Alexander, and I'm here to host our show, Life, Laughter, Happiness. Today, I have my co-host, Barbie, with me. Are you there, Barbara?
Yes, I am. Hi, Johnny. And before you go on, I would just like to tell the listeners that I'm excited about you setting some things straight. I had no idea you had been feeling like you needed to do that. And there's nothing better than talking about it, than doing anything when you have something on your shoulders. You are going to get it off your chest today. Am I correct?
Right, yes. Do you want me to start, or?
Yes, I think
Okay.
I think so. First, tell us, what is this regarding?
Well, for a long time, when I've done this show, people get this idea that I'm supposed to take a leadership role when it comes to the show because I'm the one that started it. The thing is that I have never wanted that. I've always wanted to work as a team with the other people that I work with, most importantly you. And sometimes I've had people listen to the show, and then afterwards they'll be like, why do you let everybody else talk to you like that? And the thing is that the reason it happens is that I have never wanted to take a leadership role. I've wanted to be a team player. You know, I wanted it to be something that where, you know, it's our show, not mine. And I think a lot of times other people that have had these podcasts, they take the leadership role and then everybody else sort of follows along. And I've never wanted to do that with you. I wanted it to be something to where your opinion is what mattered. Your opinions mattered. Your opinion on things mattered. So I feel like sometimes that, you know, when people have said that I get that people interrupt me and everything, and it's really just because I've asked them to talk about things that are important to them and things that matter to them. So I'm okay with being interrupted. You know, I think people think that I'm taking the approach of just like sitting in a desk somewhere and ordering people around. And it's important that be understood. You know, I never wanted to name the show after myself because I wanted it to be an inclusive thing. And I hope that, Barbara, you feel like we've been a team, you know, that I've always respected your opinion, that I've always listened to things when you wanted to do it, and I've not made you feel like you were ever bossed around. And does that make sense?
Well, most of it did, except for the part about you never wanted to be a certain way. You said it a couple of times, maybe 3 times. I never wanted it to be that way. Where you are coming to some kind of climactic realization. So can you elaborate more about what that is?
You mean, when did I realize I didn't want it to be like that? The show to be like that?
Could you describe be like that?
Oh, you mean what be like that means, right? Is that what you're asking me?
Be like that to where you feel like you are being interrupted and people are saying,
no,
why would you be...
I think it's people kind of view it like, I've heard some people say that they view it like I was being interrupted and that viewed it like I was being, you know, cut off and everything. I never felt like that you were doing that. This is why I'm doing this, is because I want people to understand that we work as a team. And, you know, it's important that we both have the steering wheel, you know, and does that make sense? I mean, I want people to understand the way I do
Not
things.
really.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. That's you. You want all the listeners to understand how you do things. But
Right.
in my professional world, the way I do things is I have company meetings, and I sit down and I listen, and I
Right.
troubleshoot, and I care, and I try to fix. That's what I do. So, unless you can be more specific about being interrupted, because when you're on radio,
Right.
you're not quick sometimes, and time's a wasting, and there's other people on the line, which there's a
You're
lot
right.
of them a lot of the time. You know, if you're just going around in circles, they've got to take the reins because
You're
they've got to
right.
keep it moving. That's their job too. So they're
That's
trying to
true.
take the reins.
And
They're
that's
trying to keep
actually
it moving. They're thinking about, is this going to be interesting for people? You know,
That
they're
actually
thinking
is
about a
funny,
million
that
things
point that
a
you
million
made.
miles a second. And there
Yeah.
you go. Are you interrupting me or am I interrupting you? That's the big question.
Well, you're right about that. That's the point that I'm trying to make. That's the point that I'm trying to make, is that people need to understand that, is that it's important that you take the reins, because, you know, it is that you've always been able to do, you've always let you do that, you know, because you said yourself, it's like people, you know, there are people, we both have jobs, and does that make sense? I mean, I want to give you...
Well, thank you, and I'm glad you're okay with me, because obviously this whole show is directed at me, which is quite a surprise. Hello, thanks for taking me off guard.
No, I'm not saying the show's directed at you. I'm not saying that. No. What I'm saying is that I'm thankful for you. And I was clearing
you
up...
wouldn't feel interrupted unless it was some person calling you up and saying, hey, you know what, I noticed that you should be bothered that you're really being interrupted, Johnny. Johnny, you know, doesn't that bother you? When you were totally happy and fine. Okay,
Right.
let's analyze. Is that okay to call up and try to stomp on somebody's peace of mind that is perfectly level and happy, and we were all doing great? There was just a death. We just lost Richard, who was on the show for the last 5 years every Friday, everybody. So, you know, sorry if people are not perfect right now, but it is sad. And this man was amazing, and he was on. We let him come on every Friday with Psychic Delshire. It was her best friend. And you know what? Things aren't so perfect. Well, guess what, Johnny? You've got a bright future, because you're going to be interrupted a lot less. There's one less person on board.
Well, but the point I'm trying to get at is, I love the things that you do for me, and I want everybody to see that. Does that make sense?
Why wouldn't it make sense? You're making a nice statement. Why would that not make sense? That you're making a nice statement. I appreciate you, Barbara. Yes, Johnny, of course that makes sense. What kind of question is that?
I don't know. I mean, I want you to feel appreciated is the thing, and I worry sometimes that I get on your nerves, and that's why.
Forget about that. Forget about that. You don't get on my nerves. And another thing is, you need to let that go. If you feel like maybe you're getting on somebody's nerves, you need to let that go, because that's a fear, and that's going to stop you up in life.
Right.
It's a fear. It's going to hold you back. It's going to yield you. You're not going to just see the green light when you start feeling that way. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you irritate me. I promised you a long time ago that I would never, ever stop doing Life, Laughter, Happiness.
Right.
And you wallow around worrying about irritating me? Okay, well, then you don't believe in me. You don't believe my words.
No, don't say that. Don't say that.
See?
But,
okay. Well, Johnny, I don't know why you are doing this, because you know me. Of all people, I conduct my business in private. But no, you just you just opened this can of worms up. Who's the person out there that put you up to this and made you feel icky inside?
No, nobody. What I was trying to say is that I was trying to clear.
It wasn't your father, was it?
No, it wasn't my father.
Sorry to interrupt you.
But actually, if it makes you feel any better, I mean, there's a lot of people that say, that listen to the show and say great things. I mean, and I want to explain.
Well, I've never felt bad.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I don't need to feel better. I still don't feel bad.
Okay.
You feel bad. Just because you feel bad and you feel interrupted, well, you know what I say about that? Go take some classes on co-hosting.
Okay. No, I think you misunderstand. Okay. What I meant to say is that those people that say that I'm being interrupted are wrong. Okay? I don't feel interrupted. I was wanting to correct those people. Does that make sense?
It does not make sense because I'm wondering why you're choosing this platform to do so. Are you exploiting these people?
No.
So why are you... Okay, here's the thing. What's the point of you telling us this today?
I want people to understand that this is that I want to emphasize the community aspect of it. I do feel that a lot of times people don't understand what I'm trying to do as far as the show is concerned. I think sometimes I hear this from people, that not every once in a while they kind of misunderstand what I'm trying to do, if that makes any sense. And
well, yes, it does make sense because people are misunderstood all the time. I'd say this would be a good segue into talking about what you're trying to do. If you say that you've been misunderstood, you feel interrupted, you are... No,
I don't feel interrupted.
You don't feel heard. Okay, you don't feel heard. You're misunderstood. Would you like to take this opportunity, the next 15 minutes of the show, to tell us what's going on? What are you doing, and what do you want us to know, Johnny? We'd love to hear. I would.
Okay. I want everybody to understand that I want to listen to everybody, and I want to be as open-minded as I can and make everybody feel welcome. And I want to know that, I work really hard to treat the people that I work with, like you, well, and that's what I want everybody to understand. So I don't always use the right words.
From me, I don't know how much that matters or is worth here today, but I could say from my mouth that you work with integrity and you do have purpose.
Thank you.
You have more drive. You have more goals. You have more direction. That's the word. You have direction because you start from the beginning and do all the proper steps
right
on how to start something, midway what to do, how to finish it. And that is what you are about. And working with you for the last maybe going on 5 years. Johnny, Are you kidding me? You were so afraid of doing so many things, and I don't mean to say that in any disrespect to you, but
no,
you have grown.
Okay.
And you know what? Things like this, I'm proud of you. You feel like you've been misunderstood, and you want to talk about it. That is the best way to fix things. And so I commend you, and I'm proud of you because you know what? It takes a lot for somebody to come. It's like going out on stage in front of people staring at you. It takes a lot of courage to come out and really talk about exactly how you feel. So, hey, okay, I might not be able to fix things or help you in 30 minutes or 15 minutes here tonight.
Well, Barbara, you do.
Darn well, sure, I will be working on helping you fix things to make you feel every day when you wake up that you feel happy And then you look in the mirror and you're like, oh, what exciting things can I conquer today or continue
What I
working on
love
today?
about you, Barb, I'll tell you what I love about you is that you are, is the idea that you have always been open-minded about everything. I like that. Like, for instance, if you want to, if you're open and you're willing to listen to people. And you've been even, it's funny. It's like you'll be around people that don't treat you well. You're still open-minded and you're still loving towards them. So that's a very admirable trait.
I think that's why every man who I date, they want to marry me right away because they're so shocked. And it comes out naturally. And that is why I put the wall up and don't date them, because every single first date that I go on, I'm thinking, this person I'm going to have to deal with multiple phone calls, multiple trying, am I going to put up with this? So that is a thing. And thank you. I'm not blowing smoke up myself. I am just saying that I do think
something about Mary.
I do think because it's real, right? And there's not one little jealous molecule inside of me. And I think jealousy takes people down. It does, and I notice it. And you can't trust those people because when they're jealous, they go haywire. Everything else just goes just crazy and doesn't work right when there's jealousy involved. They can't be free. It's kind of like hate, carrying around revenge, hate in your heart. That's why they say forgiveness will set you free. And we need to have more counselors on to talk about that. Maybe David Essel again about that, because it just will set you free, but yet what do you mean? I have to say, oh, that's okay, you did that, took a loved one away from me, but I forgive you. What do you mean? I forgive you as a monster walking the earth? And I don't get it. So, I don't get that, but anyway, we always dissect things, look into things, and I'm so glad that you used this show as your... I thought it was going to be a little interview show of,
I think a conversation.
Funny stories.
I'm glad that it's more of a conversation because, it's important that there be dialogue, back and forth, because that's what I wanted. I always wanted there to be dialogue between us, and there is. But I think that I was
didn't I say that, Donnie? Did that right before the show? I said, let's make it more of a conversation.
You're right.
Right.
Yes.
So...
But, I want everybody to understand that, I want Barbara to be able to say her opinion, and if it means, her taking the steering wheel, that's fine, because I've always wanted her to be in the front seat with me,
You shouldn't have to explain yourself. Why do you feel like you have to explain yourself?
Okay, I got you.
Okay. Are you crazy? You're acting nutty, Johnny. What's going on? Who's telling you that you should feel bad about our show that we do together? Huh?
You're right.
Who's saying that?
I don't think anybody's saying that.
1, 2, 3,
I've
4,
heard
5.
some
Who
comments.
is this?
What?
Who are these people? What comments?
They were saying that. No, I'm just saying. All I'm going to say is that they probably these people misunderstood what I was trying to do in as far as the environment that I was trying to create, because it's
I don't get it. Whatever one or 2 or 3 shows they listen to determine their finding about us and our show, that's crazy, because we have about 700 or 800 shows together, and we go through life together. Okay, the first year we did shows, we did 7 days a week, every single day, sometimes for over an hour, and you can go and listen to Johnny and I on Blog Talk Radio, all of our shows from then to now, and of course we're going to have mood swings. Of course, it's kind of like almost a radio soap opera. If you follow along every single show, which is, I'm going to make something of it. I'm going to edit a lot because, there are funny nitpicking things. There's crazy interruptions. There's like coughing. There's weird stuff. There's people like
birds
falling
chirping.
apart. Okay. There's everything. There's funny stuff. Okay. So I love our show. Johnny knows how much I love him. Johnny knows that he's my best friend. I'm his best friend. So nobody can penetrate that. Whoever you are, thank you for your, you think, constructive criticism. Well, for some reason, Johnny feels safe enough, probably because that's Life, Laughter, Happiness is, motto almost, is, come on here, come on air, live, and feel safe enough to express yourself. And that's what he just did. And to be continued.
I know. Thank you for listening to me. That's really sweet that, of course you would listen to me anyway, but I'm just saying thank you for the work that you do to help me out on here. Because it really does.
Well, of course.
I could not do the show without you.
It's not work. It's fun
work.
work.
I'm just saying I could
work.
not do the show without you, because it would have to be, there needed to be another person, and you're the best person for the job.
Okay. Well, thank you. Well, I'm the person who actually enjoys the job. And, Johnny, thank you for airing your laundry in public today.
Yeah.
It's been, fun.
Thank you. And I think it was time, because I'm usually the guy who is in the background a lot, and I just feel like that, because I created this, I think I need to explain to everybody, a little bit again about why I designed the show the way that it is. So do you want to do the shout out, or?
I do after I say, my part of your story. I'm going to say, it's so funny because here I'm thinking, you're interrupting me all the time.
Really?
Literally. Oh, yes. I'm thinking.
Okay, it's not on purpose.
Hear what I said. I am thinking, what? Hello, I'm here. Do you not hear me? I'm literally doing sign language over here. You can't see me because we're just audio. And I have exercised so much, which I'm proud of myself for, over the last years. I mean, I didn't even know you had autism. And the first year working with you 7 days a week, I did not know that. I just thought you were kind of a quirky guy. I still have never met you in person. Okay. So second year, we had a soap opera happening, which is actually fun, and we made it through that. Best friends, all that. And then here, lo and behold, I'm thinking, wow, we're doing great shows. We have our Johnny and Barbara show every Tuesday. We're like clockwork pretty much with Dale Shear on Friday. And you know what? It's great. And we're getting great content. And then here, I'm thinking, man, if Johnny just could just not act like I'm invisible and maybe actually listen for me to be done with my point before he talks over me. I mean, I'm actually, and so here I'm thinking you're interrupting me nonstop. And so I'm trying to think, maybe this person is doing this number on you and noticing that you're doing it to me and then twirling it around in your head and making you think that I'm doing it to you somehow. Yeah.
Well, I think what it is, Barbara, is that because it's audio, I can't read your facial expressions. So I just want you to know none of that's on purpose. Okay. I mean, I would not interrupt you on purpose. Okay. I promise you that.
Yeah, we'll tell that to many stars, singing stars.
Yeah.
Tell that to many stars who are blind, that they can't feel your vibe. Okay. Uh-huh.
Right.
Well,
I'm
no,
sorry,
that
Barbara.
Is an excuse.
I will try to be
that's an excuse. That's not an excuse. You do interrupt me, but it's not because you're interrupting me, and you will probably never, ever know that you did. Right. Here is the root of the problem. I feel that you do not listen to me or another individual speaking, and you're just waiting for them to maybe stop, and in your mind, you're going to go interject at that point and get it in. So my suggestion is just to take 3 beats before you talk, and then respond to it at the time, right there, live, in the moment. Live the moment. That's all I can say. Live that moment, Johnny.
I'll make an effort to kind of slow down a little bit, okay? All right? Okay. Thank you for helping me do this. Thank you for helping me do this, Barbara. I think we've do you want to do the shout out now?
Yeah, it says Pete in progress, but it's been fun, and I'm always up for a challenge. And Life After Happiness listeners, thank you for your continued listening support. Follow us on Life After Happiness, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Thank you, Johnny, for sharing a little bit about your thoughts today. I appreciate you. I am grateful for you. I acknowledge you. On that note, thanks for listening, everybody.
And we'll see you Friday.